Oh, hi, everyone. It is John Seymour, serial entrepreneur here coming at you tonight. It happens to be Saturday, which is April 16th. And I have a great show for you tonight. First of all, if you are new to IFYL, that's Inspirations for Your Life, you're going to notice there's a QR code. Yep, right up there in the top right. You can take your phone, you can scan that QR code. Once you do, that will actually lead you over to my link tree, which has a plethora of information to help you become a better version of yourself and everyone else in your life that you care about. Lots of great content there, lots of great clips and short little stories and videos that I produce. And so if you are coming here for the first time, welcome. Every single week, starting on Saturday, you're at the perfect time because we start with a brand new series today. And we actually have a new sub-series every single day. And we end on Friday. So the master topic is basically starts up for the whole week. And then every day we get a little bit more specific with that. All right. So if you are coming back to my channel time and time again, well, first, thank you and kudos for doing that. I'm very grateful for that. And I want to share with you what our topic is about today. Yes, it is what to focus on to be a success. So I want to thank you, and I hope that many of the people that are coming to my channel actually will become great loyal subscribers just like you guys are. So when you think about success in your life, I know a lot races through, right? So we're going to dissect this every single day. And for those of you that are celebrating Easter, happy early Easter. And for those who are celebrating Passover, happy Passover. Hopefully you're having a good Seder and everything's going well for you. So when we think about success, we've talked about this before, that what the mind believes, you see my hat, it will achieve, right? So what you focus on is what you become, which you've heard me say many times ago, and we've learned from Earl Nightingale. So what should we focus on to be a success? Well, that's a great thing. We want to focus on good things, okay? We want to focus on being positive. And let's say we want to focus right now, let's talk about something that everyone probably wants that's maybe watching my videos. They want more abundance in their life. But let's get specific about the kind of abundance. Is it abundance of money? Is it abundance of health? Well, let's assume it's abundance of money for right now. So what I want you to do to get that type of success, because there's different types of success, right? There's money, there's relationships, there's, basically your own esteem in a good way, not in a bad way, but in a good way that helps lift you up to empower yourself and empower others. Now, when we think about financial success, the first thing you have to realize is that it is possible. That is number one, right? You believe it and you will achieve it. By the way, you saw my QR code. If you have any challenges getting to that QR code, you can go to Believe Me. That's BELIEVE, me, achieve, ACHIEVE. That's believe me achieve.com. BELIEVE, me, MEACHIEVE.com. And so when we think about it, the first thing you're probably saying, oh, John, this seems so hard. It's like impossible. It's not impossible. And a shout out to my friend there, Chris. Thank you for the good vibes. Always appreciate your comments and welcome. Welcome to the channel. It's great to have you here. And so, and I'm actually going to push that comment out because just want to let our people know that. So definitely thank you. Very grateful for that, Chris. So when we think about financial success, right? How do you achieve financial success when right now you're like, John, I don't have $1 in my wallet, or I barely have enough to put gas in my car? I get it. So it starts with a positive outlook on life, right? So to achieve financial success, you first need to be grateful, which you've heard me say, for everything that you have and everything you will get. And really mean it with the heart. Feel it with the heart. Not just like in your brain. It's not all up in here, right? Because we've learned before that what flows, where energy goes, energy flows where your attention goes. So that means that what you put your attention on most is where you're going to manifest things in your life, whether you want them or you don't. So you have to be someone who is deliberate about thought. And so not just thought that's in your brain, but thought that you feel right here in your chest. So how do you manifest abundance? Well, first thing you can do is you can think about the feeling of what your life's going to be like when you have um, these things, which you already have right now. So you're envisioning what it's like that you have it at the moment, not in the future. You envision what it's like. Okay. A good way to think about financial abundance, and you've had me give you exercises lots of times before. I want you to think about life. And I want you to think about all the things in life that you want, but you feel like you can't get. It's not that you can't get them, it's that your focus is not on the right thing. So if you want financial abundance, focus on money coming into your life. And you know the phrase that I repeat all the time. I'm sure you guys have seen me with this phrase, and I'm going to pop it on the screen right now, guys, just for you guys. And that is large sums of money come to me easily and quickly in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis for the good of all that I get to keep. We're going to say it again. Of course, you know we're going to say it again. Large sums of money come to me easily and quickly in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis for the good of all that I get to keep. One more time. Large sums of money come to me easily and quickly in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis for the good of all that I get to keep. Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, that when you are in a state of being positive, whether you're laughing, whether you are smiling, you can't be negative. So if you're feeling negative, let's say around money, one good thing you could do is to smile around money. Something I've told people to do is to take money they have in their wallet, go get a 20 or get a $100 bill, and I don't want you to spend it. I want you to keep it in your wallet. And I want you to have that money there, maybe smell it in the morning, and just have it there, but don't spend it. Okay. And then you can have that feeling, because maybe the feeling of abundance is kind of hard. You're like, John, this is so whoa. It's not. It's that things don't happen in 24 hours. It takes a little longer than that, right? When you start to build a habit in your life, do you know what happens? Your body starts to take, yes, action and activate your RAS. What the heck is your RAS? We've talked about this before. Your reticular activating system. Your reticular activating system was actually implanted in you when you were born, and it was designed to keep you safe and healthy. That's what it was designed for. It wasn't designed to make you a success, but with a little bit of practice, you can retrain the RAS so that the reticular activating system will start to work more in the way you want it to. So let's just say, for example, you're thinking about success. You're thinking about abundance. You're thinking about money coming into your life. You're thinking about having anything you want. One thing I always tell people to do is go write a list of 300 things, not things you believe you can get, 300 things that you want in your life and you're going to have. All right. I think a lot of people put limiting beliefs, and these limiting beliefs actually restrict people from actually becoming the best version of themselves. So remember, it starts with a feeling first, and then we manifest second, but the feeling has to be first. This was a secret to me and how I manifested my first luxury car after college. I drove the car. I took pictures of the car, put it on my screensaver, put it on my phone, and then every night I closed my eyes and I started my car with the remote button there, and I put my hands on the steering wheel, and I heard the engine purring, and I started it, and I was driving, set my navigation system, was driving, and just felt so confident, so comfortable, so safe, and so belonging to my car. And then I just pictured that, envisioned that. So when you picture success in your life, right, your RAS is going to say, okay, I'm going to show you more success. When you picture things negative, like I've talked to lots of people in the past, like, oh, John, I don't even have money to do this. I don't have money to do that. I'm in my second marriage, or I'm my third divorce, whatever. I get it. So what you need to focus on is success. You need to focus on knowing that you're having everything you need at the moment and being grateful for that. And more things will come about that you can be grateful for. So when you are in that frame of mind and you're feeling and you're experiencing and you're seeing and you're hearing, you're thinking abundance, okay? Your brain's like, okay, I guess I got to show you more abundance. I've got to prove to you that this is true. When you say, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to afford this, what does your brain do? It says, okay, great. That's what you want. We'll show you more things that you're going to have trouble with. You see, this sounds like something that comes out of a novel or of some fairy tale book. But you know, the truth of the matter is you create your own reality. Let me say that again. You create your own reality. Well, John, how can I create my own reality? You do. You create your own reality. You create your own reality because the thoughts that you put towards something, right? Now, you might say, well, gee, John, when I put the thoughts, does it just appear tomorrow? No, it causes your RAS, your reticular activating system, to get you alert to specific opportunities that you might have not seen because you were closed-minded to this. Now that you're open to these situations, you're going to get these hunches or nudges to take inspired action. When you do that, that's when you can celebrate your beginning milestones, your beginning successes. But a lot of people, they want $10 million tomorrow. So why not set a smaller goal? Why not set a goal that instead of having $10 million tomorrow, maybe I just want to be able to make an extra 500 a week. And then when you see that it works, which you know it will, double it up, get bigger with it. But I find sometimes when people set these high numbers and then they can't achieve them overnight, they get frustrated. So it's good to come up with the number that you want to make. All right. So one number that a lot of people want to make, and I hear this a lot, is they tell me they want to become a millionaire and they want to make lots of money. Well, that's great, right? That's absolutely great. But what does that mean in terms of dollars and cents? What does that mean to somebody, right? If you thought about that in terms of dollars and cents. So if you think of a typical year, okay, let's say you don't work Saturdays and Sundays, let's presume that. And let's say in a typical week, you have 5 days, right? So you have 5 days in a week. So that actually means 5 days in a week, right? And you multiply that roughly times 12 months, you get 60 working days. That seems interesting. So, but let's take that again. So you have 5 days in a week. You're going to multiply that actually times 4. And now you're going to take that, you're going to multiply that times 12. I want to make sure you guys were awake. It wasn't 60 days, it's 240. All right. So 240, what would it take to become a millionaire? What would it take to become a millionaire? Well, you have 240 working days, right? So let's just say you need to make, in 240 days, you need to make each day, you need to make right around $5,500. Now, why did I say $5,500? Okay. So you might say to me, John, well, that's great. And that's going to make me some money. You know why I said that number? I'm going to tell you why. Because if you take $5,500, okay, and you multiply that by 240, those are the days that you're actually working, okay, you get $1.3 million. 1.3 million. All right. So now if you take away from that, let's just say you're going to take away 40% from that. Okay. You're at 792. So what I would really say to you is plan on making $6,000 a day times 240 days. Why am I telling you this? I'll show you in a minute. So 1.4 million minus 40%, still getting you not quite at the number, isn't it? So what do you need to make $1 million? I'm talking about clear after your taxes, right? So let's take 6,500 times 240 days. A little bit of fuzz on my lip there, sorry. You get 1.5 million. Let's minus 40% from that, and you're sitting at 936,000. Hate when that happens. All right, so you're still not at the million point, right? But if you want to make $1 million, So what do you need to be taking in a day? Let's do it again. Let's take $6,800. $6,800 a day times 240 days in a year. Okay? 1.632 million, right? And then minus 40% from that. Let's assume that's your tax bracket. You're sitting at 979. You might say, gee, John, this gets a little challenging. Well, let's assume you didn't have any creative deductions, but if you did, so really, if you were making, let's say you were making $7,000 a day, $7,000 a day times 240 days in a year, okay? It's going to make you 1.6 million. Minus 40% of that, it's going to get you down to 1 million. 1,000,008. You see how I did that? And I think the important thing to understand for some people is that they believe that the number they want is the number, but is it really the number? I think that can be a little challenging for some people. So again, taking the number of 7,000 times 240 days in a year. Okay, minus 40%. It's going to sit you in at 1,000,008. So you need to make $7,000 a day to become a true millionaire. Now, if you're okay with being a millionaire and saying, well, gee, I'm a millionaire, but after taxes, I'm not. And a lot of people are like, well, I want to be a millionaire even after taxes. So you need to be bringing in $7,000. Now, if you have other expenses, great. But I'm just presuming you have no expenses. And normally, if you're making $1 million, there's ways to write things off. But let's just presume that you didn't have any write-offs. $7,000 a day. And I'm assuming that you're only working weekdays. If you work other days, great. And so what does that mean in terms of realistic ability for some people? So $7,000, okay? And let's say you work an average of, let's say you work 8 hours a day. You're basically bringing in about $875 to $900 an hour. Okay? Now, you might be saying to me, John, how does this work? Well, now that you understand the $7,000 is where you need to be at 1,000,008, what I want you to get is this. Most people won't achieve that. You know why? Because they don't believe they're worth it. So you have to first believe it, then you're going to achieve it. But you have to also understand that you got to focus on it. Focus on your life. What's your life going to be like now that you have $1 million in it? What are you going to drive? Where are you going to live? Where would you be right now if you had $1 million in your bank account? Where would you be sitting? Who would you be talking to? What kind of shows would you watch? How would you be sitting right now if you had $1 million in your banking account? Would you be sitting any differently? How about leisure activities? What would you do for fun if you had $1 million in your bank account? What trips would you take? What would you go to the store and buy for yourself? Whether the food store, whether some other store, what would you buy? And now imagine going to that store and seeing all the things you want and saying, I'll take one of those, one of those, one of those, and one of those. You could have everything you want. You could have one, a couple, or all of them. Because you're now a millionaire. And you are not just making $1 million for this year. You're making it continuously. And that means that you're going to keep growing. And you're probably going to make more next year. But I'll tell you this, the first million is a little challenging. After you make the first million, everything else just is like downhill. It's really easy. It's because of the belief system that people put on them. The one thing I want to caution you is that a lot of people that make $1 million develop an attitude. I would urge you to not develop an attitude. Just because you make more money doesn't mean that you're better than anybody else. In fact, you're able to help people because you have $1 million. You're able to have that philanthropic spirit, okay? You're also able to do things for your friends and family. What would you buy for your family? A car, a trip, a home. What would you buy for them? Now that you have the estate and you're living in this beautiful estate, could be 5,000 square feet, could be 10,000, 20,000, or even larger. What would you buy for your estate? A nice custom 2-lane bowling alley, maybe a wine cellar, one for reds, one for whites. Maybe you would put in a pool table, right? Maybe you would have a gourmet chef at your home that prepares your meals. What would it look like? You see, a lot of times people don't reach the destination because they're afraid to think and feel what it would look like. And the truth of the matter is, when you feel something with all of your heart, your mind, you connect them together, you start to create patterns. And these patterns cause the reticular activating system to say, hey, wait a minute, we should take this action. And now you take more of those actions, and your instincts start to become a lot more acute. And before you know it, people around you will be like, hey, I want to hang around him. Not because you're wealthy, because they want to become like you. Maybe that's because you're wealthy, or maybe it's because of who you are and what you can do. So having $1 million or more allows you, I don't want to say, or it shouldn't allow you the freedom to be nasty to people, but it does give you the freedom to live your life the way you want, as long as you don't disrespect, disregard, hurt, or harm another person. That's pretty deep. So this entire week, I'm really excited. We're going to be talking about what do you focus on to become a success. So with money, focus on more money in your bank account. Focus on money just coming in while you're sleeping. Now, I gave you numbers to something that is on a physical work day, but let's just presume, okay, that what you made, okay, now I said $800, right? $875. Let's just presume that you made $800 times 24 hours in a day. You just made yourself $19,200. Not bad. If we divide that by 2, we get $9,600, okay? And we multiply that times 240 days. You're now worth $2.3 million before taxes. We take the taxes out, right? Because you're going to have, hopefully you'll have a break there. And then you're 1.3. So you can do some creative things with how to, basically have deductions. But the point is that if you don't believe you're worth something, okay, then you're never going to achieve it because you're like, oh, that's not for me. That's not for me. But the truth of the matter is it is for you. Once you change your mindset to believe. So if you start adapting the attitude, believe and achieve, and you will. Now, the million's not going to come in tomorrow. I got to tell you that. But just the fact of knowing that your bank account is starting to escalate and go higher and higher and higher and higher. How's that making you feel? Knowing that you can just buy anything you want at any time. Do anything you want. Imagine being able to pick up and go to Europe or do anything you want to do, or maybe go to a concert and maybe buy out the whole first front row. Imagine that. Imagine going to your favorite restaurant, and because it's a special event, you decide for you or something other that you buy out the restaurant just so you can have a private evening there. Pretty amazing, right? The problem with some people's wealth is they tie it to other people's expectations. There's nothing wrong with being wealthy. It's that when you try to become wealthy because of someone else, that's a problem. So if the person motivates you to become wealthy, no problem with that. However, if you're just trying to do something that another person's doing, then you're not living through your heart. you're looking at somebody else. So let's say you see somebody and they have, I don't know, 2 Lamborghinis and 2 Ferraris. And now you suddenly want to have 2 Lamborghinis and 2 Ferraris because they have them. But that's not really what you want. In other words, when you make a lot of money, you have to realize that you set the standard. If you see somebody that has this great 100-inch screen TV and you want a 100-inch screen TV, not because they have it, but because you watch football or you watch lots of videos or games and you want that lifelike experience. You get what I'm saying? So to become a millionaire, the first thing you have to realize is it's the thoughts. And the thoughts cause a reaction in your body. And then they also cause that electrical reaction to turn into a chemical reaction or between the synapses, I should say. But it oftentimes gets shut down because people don't believe in themselves. And when they don't believe, it's like that little, I'm going to say that the pump the pump starts to prime the water and prime the water and prime the water. And it may take a minute or two before that water to come all the way up the hose and all the way back out to the fountain. But you only turn it on for 20 seconds and it starts to get through half of the hose, but it doesn't get up there for the minute you turn it off. It's like, now it's got to start all over from the beginning again, right? So got to start from the beginning and it's got to go all the way and all the way back. People trying to become wealthy get, I'm going to say, frustrated because they try and then they fall down. When you fall down, ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't mean you've quit. It just means you got to pick yourself up and keep going. So for tonight's lesson, I want you to understand that to become a millionaire, you need to first understand, what does it take to become a millionaire? What kind of money means millionaire? I think I've told you right now what it would take for you to be a millionaire, free and clear, assuming that you had no expenses. You're going to make even more money, right? So if you made $7,000 and just worked 240 days a year, 1.68 million, and no deductions, you would sit in at 1.8 million. You get the idea? When you start to understand what a millionaire thinks and what a millionaire does and adapt a millionaire's mind frame, you start to become the millionaire and, yes, eventually the billionaire. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It has been a privilege and a pleasure sharing with you tonight the focus and thoughts of how to become a beginning millionaire. Now, I want you to understand that this content's for you, but you have to make the choice to apply it to your life every single day. And you have to feel this with every single cell, muscle, and tendon in your body. Go ahead and like, support, and of course, I'd love you to comment about this. Does this resonate with you? What does it feel like when I share with the fact of you being a millionaire? Tomorrow, I'm going to go over a short little technique on how you can anchor yourself into becoming a millionaire. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to tag your friends, your colleagues, and your associates, and share this out with everyone you know on social media. Then go below my video on John space C space MRLEY space serial entrepreneur on my YouTube channel and look for the key phrase, help keep our content free. Below that, make the choice to buy my team and I a cup of coffee. We'll be so grateful with those pennies and dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, and even new facilities to continue to produce the most jaw-dropping motivational content to get your RAS or trigger activating system on fire and primed to look for opportunities to get you to take that inspired set of actions. Have yourself a great night and have yourself a good Easter tomorrow. And I will see you later after my dinner to share some great thoughts about how you can actually anchor and how you can stay in that peak state to become that millionaire. Have yourself a great night, everyone.